everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It has been a little while since I have posted anything on YouTube, but I've just got back into being more creative and would like to share a few things that I've been up to, as well as making a new project today. Now this is about my 5th take. Every time I've gone to start filming today, I've had someone come in just to see how I was going and basically doing the mummy thing. So this morning I've just made some ATCs. I was watching Woolly Steph, one of my favourite YouTubers, getting inspired by her, and just made a couple of little ATCs. Now these are on watercolour paper, and I've just got some blotches of colour, and I've just put a little bit of doodling over the top. So I've just cut those out to the ace. It's a very dark blue that I've got on the background, that card. So it is 2.5 by 3.5, and then the smaller cards I've actually cut those out to 2.25 by 3.25, so I can just fit those onto those. And just with a little sticker from a Tin Holtz collection. So the watercolour paper was just a simple page like that, where I have just put that down, splotches and blotches all over the place, and then with an ink pen, just a little bit of doodling. So I'll create some more of those later today. So over the last couple of days, I've just been putting together some little envelopes and tags to do some art journaling. So little tucks that I can actually put in, little pockets, a couple of little tags from leftover paper, some more pockets, and these have got little double pockets there which can just fit into a little journal, and also making a couple of other little cards, not quite, I guess, the size of a proper ACT, but little art journals tags to put in. And of course, just been using my die cuts, cutting out a few bits and pieces. I'm slowly discovering that I have got lots and lots of stuff, and I need to get organised. So today what I would like to do is start making another journal in which I can actually add some ephemera, my tucks and pockets until I actually need them, and also ACT. So the first little one that I am going to make today is a little journal that I can actually put all of my ACTs in, just so I can save them up and send them out to friends, and also ones that I can collect from friends. So I'm going to make a very simple one today, where I can just add bits and pieces to it as I go along. So I have got some cardboard. This is just recycled from some paper packs that I had actually received, so I just keep these, and I find they're absolutely great for making journals. So I've just got 2 of those, and they measure 10 inches by, I think it was 8.25. Yep, 8.25 inches across. Just so they were big enough that I could actually keep a few of the cards if I'm going to make some little tucks into the pages inside, so they'll be able to sit into little pockets, and probably have 2 rows of pockets. So the other thing I have are just some album rings. They're from a Case Craft. I got these years ago and have been sitting around not doing very much at all. And I'm just going to use some scrapbooking paper to cover the journal covers. So like many of you, I have got so much scrapbooking paper, things that I have not used in years. I found a package that I had with a lot of floral work on it. I've got no grain schemes to actually use it for anything. So today I'm just simply going to use these papers, which are also double-sided, to actually cover the actual pages. So I'm just going to start with one. These are 12 by 12s. So I think if I give myself an inch on either side, I'll cut that back. So I've just lost my blade. Now, as it's been a while, I haven't got things properly set up for filming again. This was a spur of a moment today, thinking, oh, I need to just jump in and do something. So I think if it's 10, if I 8 there, I'm going to take that back to 10, and that'll give me nice coverage on either side. Okay, so with that little bit, I will just probably make a nice little belly band. And I just want one more. Excellent. So I've got those two there. So I do like, with this journal, I do like that cover. It is very plain, but I think I have the tendency to move towards browns. And with the almost like a fabric print that is on that, I'm going to use this. So I've still got another 2 sheets of this that I'll actually use for the inside cover. So with my glue, love using the Art Glitter Glue. I'm just going to put that just around the edges. Sticks so well. I've got a refill bottle too, which I just love topping up with every now and then. Okay, I'm not too worried about it because it is going to be pulled over to the inside. Try to get this pretty much in the middle. Now, it isn't directional, so it doesn't matter which way we put this up. Now, I have made a couple of scrappy journals recently. I've just finished off one, so I'm hoping that later today I'll actually do a flip through on that. I get a lot of, I guess, good energy from getting back into my craft. The last couple of years, with everything that's happened with the pandemic, I've been extremely busy. Had to take a break from a lot of the things I was doing just to focus on me and my well-being. I kind of feel like I'm in a happy balance. Plus I've surrounded, especially at work, I'm fortunate enough to be surrounded by people like-minded that we seem to inspire each other into creative little projects, enjoy each other's company and just have fun. Just just got a few. Tell I like gold. Every now and then you find things with gold splatters on them. Have to be one of my favourite things to actually finish projects off, which is always a little splatter of gold here and there, whether it be through pens or my watercolour paints. I found with having the nib on the art glitter glue, it really allows to get those edges, particularly when I'm working with finer little projects. It's really, really handy. So just going down pretty much in the middle. And smoothing it right out to the edge. So last year I jumped into uni doing a degree in health, into wellness, looking at using art as a creative mean to help and support others in a counselling role using art therapy. Enjoyed the practical components and spent so much time working on my finer art, which was really, really wonderful. At the end of the semester it felt like a bit of an overload. I was, even though the theory of art and doing art wasn't, just say, complicated, it was just time consuming. I found when I was doing my nursing degree the amount of study that was actually involved. Assignments could be done towards the end of, within a week or so. However, with my studies with art and putting together portfolios and final projects, you had to start working on those from day one. Every activity that you had to do, you had to demonstrate, so it was a lot of journaling. So a lot of the things that I like doing as well, and I go through phases of liking some things more than others, that it was kind of like overtook things. I really enjoyed it at the time, but it was nice to stop for a while. I'm just taking some time off to myself from study at the present stage, because between family life and the few events occurring family-wise, to the extended family, I just needed to slow down a bit. Plus, I still work all the time, and as a healthcare provider, you can imagine that the last 2 years have been quite busy. So I've just cut corners out there. I've taken it close to the edge, but not quite up to the edge. It just takes away that bulkiness when you're folding. So I'll do that to the other one as well. So one of the projects I have been doing, which has taken up a lot of time, and I probably need to do some more work on it this afternoon, is that I work in a theatre department, and we have lots of babies born through cesareans. As a nurse that works in recovery, we see a lot of newborn babies. So what I started to do, because it was a little bit traumatic for mums at times coming through, because maybe it's not what they planned, but it was the best thing for both of them at the time. To give them something special, we did have beanies that were made by volunteers, but I wanted something a little bit different and a little bit more special to give to our new mums and their beautiful new babies. So it took me a little while to actually develop it, but I made some beanies that were just the right size for newborn babies. I crocheted them, and I should, which everyone keeps asking, is to actually film that and put it up. So they're little beanies with little bears' ears on them. They're rather cute. I love, my biggest reward is actually seeing them on a newborn baby. It's very, very cute. So I've made those, and since September last year, I think I'm getting up to now 300 beanies. So it has kept me busy. As I said, I will film that to actually show how I actually make those beanies. I'm very happy to share the process. Now, there are other ones out there, and I started with those, but I actually found that trying to fit a brand new baby needs to have a little bit of give in the actual beanie. So it took me a little while and just a few practices to actually get the right fit and what I think is a really good fit for the babies that are newborn, just to give a little bit of stretch. So very lucky. I've encouraged a few other girls at work. The wonderful Ray, she started making those too now. So between the two of us, we've been keeping up with the demand of the baby beanies to the newborns. She said we don't get anything for it, and we don't expect anything for it. We love doing it, and there's nothing more warming than seeing one of your beanies on a brand new baby, and just the sheer thankfulness from the parents. It's so warming. It's the best feeling ever. So you can see that with that art glitter glue, I can actually take it right up to the edge. And this is a nice thick scrapbooking paper, so it's coming across nicely, and that's nice and firm. Now I will punch out the holes later, but that is the way that's coming along there now. So the other thing I will add are some corners to this, just to protect those corners when it's done. Probably could have scored these beforehand. It may have made it a bit easier, but just playing with that. So I hope everyone has been well. I really haven't been in touch with many people in the big world. I might like things occasionally, but I guess I've just took a real step back from everything, not participating in a lot of things, except for, while I do my own art and craft sort of things at home, it's just been concentrating on me and my family, without the pressure of having to get in and actually doing some filming. So, as I said before, I haven't got a lot of my things set up, so I haven't got my big mic set up, and I know that I am a bit of a soft speaker, but I will attempt to make sure that the volume when I edit everything is turned up to the best of my abilities. Or if it's too bad, I'll just do a dub over. We'll see how that goes. haven't really mastered that yet. So just the last edge coming down. So I've got lots and lots of different containers that are around me that I've been able to get through Kmart, the $2 stores, and they've been great, but I'm just finding I need something else. So I thought these journals I'll be able to keep close by and stack them up probably a little bit easier, so that I'll have everything in the one spot. Try to anyway. So if they were 8, I might make those a 7.5 by 9. It's a 9.5. How far across is it? 7.5. Make it. Sorry, just talking to myself. I said I'm going 9.5 that way. And 7 3/4. Just double check. Yeah, and that fits nicely. So 9.5 and 7 3/4. Now, I have been following Melina. I'm just trying to remember how she enunciates her surname. I think it's Plight. And following her Scrapbusters, I've enjoyed that immensely. So keeping my little scraps in one little container, and when it builds up, I just get in and create a few little scrappy things. So that's been really fun and enjoyable. Just having bits that I can add to my journals. I found after following through, they made a lot of sense in making up little bits and having them there ready to go, rather than trying to make a journal from scratch and doing everything for that journal at once. So I've got everything tucked away, including people have a giggle, but all of my edging from different projects that aren't quite available for anything else. I've seen her create some memory boards, or master boards, sorry, using those strips and then cutting those off. One thing I'm missing today is my spoon. I use a spoon to burnish the paper, making sure it stays nice and down and getting to the edges. Today I'm just rubbing that. Okay, that's that one. I'll just do this one. You can see the covers are coming along quite nicely. Now before I actually punch these, because I've had the glue right on that side, so I don't tear the paper, I will allow these to dry for a little while. I just find if I punch through things that are slightly damp, they just tear a little bit. That's great. So once I've got this fixed up, what I can also do is put some pockets just at the front as well. I might use the pockets at the front to put in some of my favourite ones, or even ones I'm currently working on. So with the sections that I have, different things that I have, I might put them into sections where I can have it set up for my ACTs, available for like giveaway. Look at that, I've even got some gold on there. I was working with gold this morning, so yeah, every now and then it pops up again. As I said, I have a section for my ACTs, probably blank ACTs where I've put on the background but haven't added anything else, and then ACTs from friends. So that'll be our cover, and what I'll end up doing is that I'll mark this now and just put it aside to dry, but I will, it's 10, I'm going to put a whole, I'm going to have 3 rings, so I'm going to put one at 5, one at 1.5, and one at 8.5. So when that's dry, I'll punch. I'm finding more gold everywhere. And 5, 1.5, and 8.5. And I'll put those away. Okay, so I'm back. I've put the holes in those, and they've dried quite well. So let's put our rings. A nice little piece. We might keep that and put it in our scraps. Okay, and these will just slip in. I might add some ribbons to these. Nice. Okay, so that's the covers. The great thing is that I can take bits out and add them as I go. Have found that when I'm working with the rings, it's a lot easier than if I come back later and want to decorate. I can actually take that out and just work on the individual pages. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I'll just put those out of the way. I'll take these off and I'll create some pages. Okay, so I've gone through my stash and found some 12 by 12s that I'd started and I've obviously cut them down to actually make something previously, so they're similar sort of size, but I'll cut them down even further. So some are double-sided, some are single-sided, and while they look gorgeous and I think, oh, I should use that, but these have been sitting in the same box for more than 4 years. So today they're going to get used for this. So I think I would like, we might go and make them probably 7 3/4. I might write this down. My memory can be like a sieve at the moment. Just in case I get distracted again by someone coming in. If I make that, I might make them 9.5. We'll see how that is. So some of these are very, very cute. And they're all different colours. The purpose of this is just to use up what I've got in my stash. So I really, and this is the thing, I need to sort my desk out. Everything is rather messy, and I just need to have places for things. That's why these journals will come in handy. So the strips I'm keeping to put into my strip pile, and I'm going to be looking at making a master board with those, and I said then 9.5 that way. So it's 7 3/4 and 9.5. Cool. So I've got some cool little scraps there now too. So that's one size. I just want to double check. So if that fits in there, that'll be good. I'm happy with that size. I've tried to pick up scrapbooking paper that isn't too light. That's got a bit of firmness to it to make sure it's a little bit durable. So 7 3/4 and 9.5. Some of these can make even little bags. I'll have to put it in that way. So I will speed up the process here, and I'm just going to go through and cut all of these down, unless you want to hear me have a natter. Okay, so I found myself some more scraps. These are the ones that I just cut off from these sheets. Now all I'm going to do is go and cut these to 2 inches high, and these already are the 7 3/4, but I'll have some other sheets there that'll cut off to that size. there's some of those leftover strips. I've just cut them in half so it's easier to store, and they'll go towards making our masterboard. So I'll just go away and cut everything down, and we'll be back to create. Okay, look. So I've cut out lots of little bits, including some vellum. So they were 7 3/4 by 2. Some of them were slightly smaller than 2 inches, only because there was not quite enough, but I thought I'd still use that page anyway. Initially I was thinking of putting just 2 pockets down, but I was just having a look and just testing on this one to actually work out the sizes that I wanted. So that's the size of the ATCs, and I've just got them overlapping so I can fit 3 rows there, just keeping them a bit lower so nothing tucks out at the top. So we'll be able to fit in several cards in there, and it won't be able to go right up to the edge, so I'll be able to fit 2 on each line, so we've got 6 on each page that we can fit in there. Okay. So it's not really somewhere to show them off, it's somewhere just to store these cards for my swaps, and then before to utilise. I can probably use this for other embellishments in ephemera as well. So a reason why I cut, I've got some vellum that I've cut up there, is that I really did like showing as much of this under paper. So I've put this on. Now these here, I'm just going to wait until these dry well just to see how sturdy they are. If I find that there's any change in the integrity of the paper, I might just sew around the edges and just along the bottom there. I'm just going to make sure that my other side, even though this one's blank, I'll still put something on it. As I said, this is not for glamour, this is just for storage, and just putting on some pockets on that side as well. However, in saying with the vellum, I may actually definitely sew this one, I think. But to start with, I'm putting down some art glitter glue around the edges. Now, in unpacking and going through a lot of things, I actually discovered that I've got a lot of scrap vellum from leftover from a invitational party that I did up some cards for. So I think with the vellum I will end up sewing around. Sometimes the art glitter glue I found with the vellum, it does buckle sometimes as it dries, but that's okay there at the moment. Now the gap I am putting in between each layer is 3/4 of an inch. Now this vellum, it's got a print on it, they're tulips, but it is facing the wrong way on the paper, but didn't want to cut up a brand new sheet, I just want to use the scraps, and it's not that noticeable. As you can see, I'm not quite sure if you can see there, it's got the tulips running that way. Yep, they're going to be lying down on their side there just at the moment. So I'm going to glue up most of these pages, and then I will come back and show you how they went. and oops, a wobbly hand there. As I said, I might also sheen stitch a few of these pages. So that is 3/4 of an inch. That's not quite long enough, so I'm just going to take it over to the edge because this side will have the hole punch in it. Okay, so it still shows off my hearts, but still creates those pockets there. The only thing I just need to make sure of when I actually do the machine sewing, that everything is matched up well on the other side. Okay, I'm going to pause there and I'm going to do the rest of the sheets. Okay, so I've got all of the pages done. I've only done one side at this stage, leaving the other side blank. I may come back to that on another day. So all I'm going to do now is go ahead and punch holes into the pages and just trim off any excess paper on the side. Okay, so I have punched out all the holes and I've now just put that into the binder. So I didn't go and sew any of the edges. Basically, I haven't made one of these before, so a bit of a prototype. If I find down the track that you know they're coming undone, I might go back and sew these. But I'm pretty happy with the way that turned out. So all it is somewhere simple. I'm not going to be decorating this, it's just somewhere to put my ACTs. So I will make a section that is one for my journaling cards, my ATCs, and then another section for ones that I have actually received from friends. So that'll be cool. I'll be able to fit a few in there, and the rings are big enough that I will be able to continue to add additional sheets. I haven't added anything to the back. I just wanted to see that before I added anything, just that when I was putting the cards in, I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to be too bulky on one component and pull. But I'll see how that goes, and if I need to then increase, I'll just come back and add some more tabs down the track as I go. So that is my little ATC holder.